When buying or selling your home, call Leo Bato. He has years of experience in real estate, showing honesty and integrity in every transaction. He's a person you can definitely trust. So book your appointment with Leo Bato today by giving him a call at 818-648-4837 or by visiting him on the web at www.leobato.realtor.
Rejuvenate your smile with Dr. Lourdes Capelong's comprehensive range of dental solutions. Along with general dentistry, Dr. Capelong specializes in cosmetic dentistry, including teeth whitening, bonding, dental veneers, and surgical crowns. Whether it's urgent care or preventive treatment, she'll take care of you and your smile. To schedule an appointment, call the clinic at area code 323-257-7582.
This episode is brought to you by ABBA E-Services.
And the podcast will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. My pleasure to have on the podcast, finally, legend.
Aray. Umpisa pa lang.
Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause, Tirso Cruz III!
Hey, thank you.
Woo!
Thank you to the audience. We've got a full house because their guest is a fool, most probably. No, nice seeing you, Paco. And,
Nice seeing you.
Thank you for having me at Pacos' place.
You know what? It's nice to have you here. Like ako, si Michael, lahat kami, we're pinching ourselves because humble beginnings. And we were talking about kanina, the goal of the podcast is to inspire people, to
That's nice.
inform people through your story, your journey. And we get a chance to peel the onion. And so sisimulan ko na.
Yeah.
Pretty much, you've been in the industry for a very long time. More than
5 decades,
five
okay?
decades.
Let's call it as it is.
5 decades.
5 decades. And hopefully still going strong.
So you started when you were 10. Nox!
Sobra. No.
5.
Sabihin ko na totoo, Lab. Sabihin ko. I was born in 1952. I started 6 months after I was born.
Commercial.
No, movie.
Movie na kagad.
It was an Lebran Productions. The title of the movie was Pagsilang ng Mesiyas.
Ikaw yung Mesias?
Yes, they were looking for someone who would appear as a child Jesus. I don't know how that production got to know my grandma and my parents. And so they decided to use me as the child Jesus. So technically, if you'll think about it, my career started 70 years ago.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. pero when did you really have that desire to be in entertainment?
The desire, I mean, I can't really pinpoint the very date, but since the time when I was younger, I mean, like, I loved singing, and I had an auntie who was a jazz singer, and she was very busy during those days. She had her own group, also her own band. So sometimes she'd leave me the turntable and the records, ng mga songs. She'd pay me 5 pesos. So my job was from school, get the lyrics of the songs that she would sing. So yun ang ginagawa ko maghapon. And then, siyempre, nung araw, yung 5 pesos, ang laki na nun eh.
Malaking pera yun.
Oo, makakapanood na ako ng sine, makakakain na ako at lahat nun. So, as I was doing that, I started liking jazz music. Di ba? Yung mga ganun. And then, I just loved singing. And then somehow, somewhere along the line, somebody pulled me in. There was a TV show in Channel 2 entitled 19ers. It was a live show which basically did live band. Combo pa nung araw ang tawag. Yes. Combo during my time. So may mga combo, and then there would be singers that would be guesting as singers, and I was one of the guys who were lucky enough to be tapped. So ayun, nag-umpisa na. I mean, alam mo yung feeling ng the attraction that being able to do what you like, being able to sing, and may additional na you're on
Mabayaran ka pa.
Oh, tsaka you're on television.
Yes.
You're on television, and I like this.
Okay, so the first time you were on television, pagkatapos nun, now, some people, yung mga bata might not understand, but you belong to the famous Cruz clan.
Yes.
And it's really, hindi pwedeng i-downplay yung word na famous because it really is famous. And
my grandfather was the famous one during those times.
Yes.
Because alam mo yung big band, nung araw uso yun, yung big
Yes.
band. I don't know, for the older people who are there, sa mga Gen Z, magtanong kayo sa mga lolo ninyo, yung mga tipong Glenn Miller band, I mean, talagang big band talaga. That was the kind of band that my grandfather had.
Yeah.
And he was very well known. He was very well known. Ang isang signature ng grandfather ko, also, I don't know, maybe if you found out, there was a march that was written. He composed it. It was written he wrote it for President Manuel L. Quezon, and the title was the Mabuhay March. I don't know I think you've heard it before. Parang siya yung counterpart ng Hail to the Chief dito sa States.
Yes.
So it's goes this way. I don't know. We say mabuhay, we say mabuhay under the blue skies where our friends live by. That was his composition nung araw. And up to now, I think they still play that when dignitaries come over. Yung mga band natin na live lalo na sa military, they still play that march.
And this was our patriarch Tirso Cruz.
Yes,
right?
he was the original Tirso Cruz.
Were you close to him?
I was, unfortunately, I was too young then when he was still really making heydays and everything. Unfortunately, he passed away before I really got to know him. And in a way, I'm also glad and blessed because they said he was very strict.
Talaga?
Oo, very strict daw yun. Ang ano daw talaga nun. Stickler for the rules and everything.
Your name, is it really that or is it a screen name?
No, that was really it. My father decided to name me that. So
ang galing, yung birthright na.
Yeah, Tirso Cruz, then Tirso Cruz II, and then Tirso Cruz III. That's me.
What are the chances na ang isang Tirso Cruz III would follow in the footsteps of, di ba?
The old man. No. I think things just fell into place. Tsaka yung siguro it became a running joke pa, di ba, sa amin, sa pamilya namin. Sa Cruz family daw, children learn to play music or the musical instrument or sing before they can walk.
Yeah, yes, sa inyo.
Yeah. Kasi anywhere you go, especially
if you grew up in the compound.
Yeah. So, sa compound kasi noon, for every house, there would be someone playing the piano or rehearsing or singing. So walang choice yung mga bata pag umikot sila sa compound. It's all music all over.
And then pagkatapos mag-rehearse ng mga matatanda, yung mga bata naman ang maglalaro.
Kakalikutin pati yun, yung mga sets. I mean, like you understand that like you're a drum set player. Alam mo ng mga bata, makuha yung stick, papaluin yung lahat. Tapos mamaya, makita mo ba, may rhythm. May then they start watching. Okay. Then the older ones, they started, they don't deny them. When they see that the interest is there, they help the kids as young as they are. They give them basics already.
Ang galing, no? Now, did you know, okay, so let's go back again to Channel 2. The first time you were in front of the camera, tapos lumabas kayo sa TV, ano yung reaction ng mga kaibigan nyo when you came back home?
Wala pa masyado kasi I wasn't really that well known naman. I mean, I'm
Pero di ba
one
nila
of the
sinabi?
boys.
Yeah, but did
I saw you.
Diba?
I saw you. Yeah. You saw me. Okay.
Were you in school at the time or?
Yeah, I was still in school that time. Before I really went full blast sa business.
Pero you were like, mukhang okay to. Did you reach a crossroad na, teka, mag-aaral ba ako? Magsha-showbiz ako?
I reached that crossroad. In a way, it's something that, as you young kids are listening, it's one of the things that I regret, that I had to give up my studies. But during those days, kasi it was a choice between my studies or the opportunity that was being handed to me in a silver platter. And what was happening was, pumapasok ako sa school, the last thing I'll remember is ginigising ako ng professor ko dahil natutulog na ako sa klase. So it was not healthy anymore. In the same token, I mean, like I wasn't learning anything anymore because the unholy hours that my work was dictating So I had to make a decision and I decided to pursue my career. Which, yun nga sabi ko, not everyone, because I thank the Lord talaga that I have been blessed na I had a career that really picked up and everything, because it doesn't always work out that way.
Yes.
Diba? No, you know that it doesn't really work out that way. Sometimes it works out for a long, long time before you get it. And sometimes even as long as hard as you try, wala talaga.
Pero the moment, from the moment that you first appeared on television, ano yung mga steps after that helped you gain momentum?
Actually talaga nung unang tingin ko, musician, singer lang ako. And then one time, I was singing every weekend kasi kumakanta ako sa lounge ng uncle ko in MH Del Pilar sa El Bedigon. So, one time, merong dumating na reporter. I'm sure you're familiar with him. God rest his soul. Si Douglas Quijano.
Oh my God, yes!
Yes, Douglas was not yet a manager. He was still a very, very young reporter. And before, pag Saturday kasi sa National Press Club, meron silang Saturday night na where they bring in talents that they think has a future para makilala ng mga ibang reporter. And Douglas brought me one Saturday there to sing.
So technically, ikaw at si Richard Gomez, pareho kayo ng pinagmulan. Kasi pareho yung Douglas Quijano.
Kanya lang, ang laki ng distance of years. Right? Because, at saka yung nga sabi nila, nung pinag-usapan nila when Douglas passed away, sabi nga, you talk about managing, hindi pa manager si Douglas Quijano kung isipin mo. Ito ang una niyang naging talent na i-manage ako. Yeah.
Yes.
And everybody knew that. Even sila. I think they talked about it siguro between themselves. Yan.
Wow. So Douglas brought you there. For the press club to meet you.
So some of the press started writing about me, ganon. And then one day, biglang may offer. Movie. Wait. Teka muna, hindi ko alam yan. Sabi ko, hindi ako marumarte. Sabi ko, ano lang ako, kumakanta lang ako. Well, they got me on hook kasi sabi sa akin, hindi, huwag kang mag-alala. Kakanta ka lang. Sabi ko, wala kang gagawin, kakanta. Okay, kakanta lang pala ako. So, pumayag ako, nag-guest ako. So, okay.
What was the movie?
True enough. It was a movie of Helen Gamboa.
Okay.
The title was, Bang Siya Nga Lang. Helen was at the peak talagang grabe. Ganda ni Helen, galing kumanta, galing mag-perform. And there was just one scene in the, na may isang parang bar or something. May kumakanta. Ako yun, kumakanta. Di ba kinun? Okay. And then, yun, slowly.
But wait, were you able to meet Helen Gamboa during that shoot?
No. Ano lang talaga. That was one day na isinut ako. Yung lang part kong yun, yung sinut eh. Hindi ba? Wala naman akong other parts dun sa movie. Yung pala bait pala yun. Yung pala yung bait.
Kasi ang sarap pala.
Okay naman pala. Yung sumunod. Uy, may movie, barkada ka lang ng bida, barkada ka. Sabi ko, teka muna, hindi, barkada ka lang, wala naman konti lang. Okay, one line or two, gano'n. Well, one thing led to another, and before I knew it, I was in the movies.
But then again, the reaction from the fans, that's important eh. Because hindi naman mauulit yan kung if the production, the director, the people behind it did not take notice of you eh.
Maybe so. Kanya siguro nga binigyan ako ng chance. Well, yun nga, tinignan nila siguro. Kasi ano rin yan, hit and miss nung araw yan.
Yes.
Diba? Okay, sige, sama mo nga yan. Ganun.
Sino mga kasabayat? Sina Direk Edgar nung mga time na to? Wala pa?
Wala pa. Hindi pa kami magano. Nauna ko kay Bobot. I was head by about a good 3 years kay Bobot.
Okay, so ngayon, more acting. You were still singing every weekend?
Yeah, kumakanta pa rin ako dahil talagang yun yung love ko. Diba?
Yes.
It's a passion. It wasn't, I wasn't looking at it as a job. It was a passion. I mean, like, whether you pay me or not, I'd sing eh. Di ba? Minsan ka sa bahay ko dati, pag gano'n, nag-i-ensayo ako, kumakanta ko, pinapagalitan ng nanay ko, "Chisto, ingay mo." Linuloko ko pa, mother ko, binabayaran ako para kumanta, kinakanta kita ng libre. Wag ka maing. Alam mo, parents are, kami ingay. I mean, like, I used to toy around with my mom. Loko-loko ko.
So tapos doon, okay, so now yung acting from bit roles, o una, crooner sa isa eksena, Tapos naging barkada.
Maging
Support.
naging support, may mga lines na. Tapos yung pair, ayun na, nag-umpisa yung mga love team. I mean, there was a program in radio noon eh. Radio yun, pero live radio, may audience yung pag Sunday. So, I can't remember exactly. Halimbawa lang, basta halimbawa, 8 guys, 8 girls, gano'n. So, may drama pag Sunday. I-pair kami, susubukan nila pa. Para kami mga chess pieces, tinitignan nila
kung sino may chemistry.
Kung may chemistry, will work out, gano'n. Ayun, doon nag-umpisa yung gano'n. Pwede to. Si ito, hindi masyado. Si ganito, ganyan. And then, it got to the point, si Miss Nora Honor, pinair sa akin. Ba, may chemistry, may they got us. Kasi noon, si Nora naman she graduated, di ba? Undefeated champion ng tawag ng tanghalan yan.
Yes.
She retired because wala talaga tumatalo sa kanya.
Galing pa rin talaga.
Ang galing talaga. Tapos yun, I think kinuha siya ng Sampaguita. She was contracted by Sampaguita or something. Tapos ako, yun kasi ako nga yung lagi na i-prepare. So, isang gamitin natin like mga pelikula ni my cousin who was ahead of me, who basically started the Cruz family into the business of movies, si Ricky Belmonte.
Yes.
So during those times, naman nun, ang love team nun, triangle sila, si Ricky, Pepito Rodriguez, and si Rosemary.
Rosemary Sonora,
Yeah.
yes.
Tapos support kami. Yun sila, tapos kami yung dalawang...
Pero was it known na magpinsan kayo?
Yeah, it was known na magpinsan kami. Yun, so kami, dalawang uhugin na bata. Tapos sila yung mga bida, kami mga support lang. Ganun pa rin ang trabaho namin. Yung bang from out of nowhere, biglang magkikita kami, kakanta. Di ba? Ganun. Tapos na, wala na. But we were starting to we didn't know, we were starting to develop our own following na pala.
Yes.
Lumalakas na, ganun. Yan.
When did you realize na yung Guy Pip tandem was a phenomenon?
I think it started with a movie it was directed by, I think, Artemio Marquez. Artemio Marquez was the first guy who decided to give us our first leading talaga. Kami yung bida. Dati, puro support. Kinuha niya kami. The title of the movie was Musical Teenage Idols. First time kaming gumawa ng movie. And it was, for the laugh of me, we didn't know, we didn't understand. It was a big hit.
Yeah.
It really made, there's a new love team in town, parang ganon, ayun na, nagumpisa na yun doon. So, we started calling the attention of other people, other producers, ganyan. So, ayun na, pati mga recording companies were coming in.
Duets na,
Tsaka magkaiba pa kami, ako, Vicor, recording ako si Guy Alpha kay Buddy De Vera. Ako, okay. Vicor, Vic and Orly.
Kaya Vicor. Yeah.
Doon nag-umpisa yan, ganun. But magkaiba kami ng company, pero yung kami, sabi nga namin, kami ang original MTV. Kasi,
yes, of course.
6 na kanta ko, 6 na kanta ni Guy, tapos may duet, may isang production number sa ending, pelikula na yon. Boy meets girl, falls in love, mag-aaway, magbabate, production number. Yay! Successful movie. That was the formula. And we really did good. I mean, for years on, talagang phenomenal talaga. Tsaka noon, during those times, you must remember, during those times, limited pa ang theaters ng Filipino movies.
Yes.
I think there were only about 5 or 6 theaters that were showing Filipino movies. Hindi pa kami noon yung lahat ng theaters linalabas na yung naipaglaban noon na our president na si Joseph Estrada was the one who fought for that na we're in the country natin to, hindi tayo maging mag-lead sa so dapat sa lahat ng theaters. So pero noon ganun kami nakakatawa noon nagkasunod-sunod na yung movie.
Galing
Movie namin, ang trailer movie pa rin namin.
So now you were...
Sunod-sunod na siya, gano'n na.
Puro Artemio Marquez.
Mostly Artemio Marquez until
diba
after a while.
Si Direk Artemio Marquez, mabilis gumawa ng pelikula.
Mabilis, oo.
14 days, tapos na yung pelikula niya.
Oo, pagka lumagpas ka 14 days, masama na loob nun. No, but although he was a very good
Very
friend,
good,
and he was,
yeah.
and we owed a lot to him because he was the first guy who really took a risk on
Right.
us.
Trivia, he's the father of Joey Marquez.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Melanie.
And Melanie
Yeah,
Marquez.
beauty queen natin. Yan.
This episode is brought to you by Leo Bato and Associates, ang realtor na patok.
Grabe, ano? So now, naging magandang institution ng Guy Pip Tandem. Internally, what was going on? Was it stressful on both of you? Diba kasi, you had to put up a front eh. Alam mo yon, yung tipong, how hard was it for Tirso Cruz III, who started off as someone who loved singing, na naitulak lang sa TV, ginawang bit role person to support, to bida. Ngayon may ka-love team. And this was fast. This was in a span of what, 3 years?
Yeah. Almost 3 years lang ni ganon.
And how old were you?
I was about 17, 18.
And you were making real money at around 17.
Yeah.
What was the feeling?
At first, I mean, it was something that we were enjoying because, from a nobody, suddenly you're a somebody. Di ba? Everybody's running after you.
Yeah.
Everybody wants your picture. Everybody wants your autograph. So, it was fun at the start. I mean, not that I'm denying it, but at the start it was fun. But after a while, you start realizing that you're losing your privacy. You're walking on eggshells. Hindi ba? You have to be careful na ano. So, after a while, parang, ang hirap din itong buhay na ganito, hindi ba? You can't, not that we didn't want it, but like sometimes you'd like to buy something. Hindi ka makapunta sa mall or sa, what do you call this? Yung mga shops nung araw.
Yeah.
Kasi pag pumunta ka rin sa shop, pinundumog yung shop na sumusunod yung mga tao, yung mga pag nakita ka sa loob ng lugar, magpapasok ka na, maghihingian na ng autograph. So, hindi ka na makakapamili, hindi ka na makakita.
Hindi mo na pwede supladahin.
Hindi pwede, because they're followers talaga. And those people are, they're the ones who really make you.
Sila yung mga unang loyalist.
Yan talaga. Yung mga fans talagang, mga diehard, sabi nga nila.
Yes.
Diehard fans. And we owe a lot to them. Talagang we owed a lot to the fans. Because without them, I mean, sino ba kami? Hindi ba?
Grabe, Tito Pip, 17. You were making real money. Who was your manager? It wasn't Douglas.
No, it was my father was basically who stood as my manager. Siya yung nakikipag-usap, siya yung nakikipag-deal. Tsaka ako talagang, I don't know, I was just, truth of the matter, most probably, I was too young to understand what was going on, or I wasn't looking at it from the professional side of things, or, like, I was just having fun. I mean, like, parang, wow, asaya ng buhay ko. Parang gano'n. Asaya ng buhay ko, gano'n. Like, dami kong kilala, ang dami ko sumakapagkilala sa akin. Daming, kapag lumakad ka, nakasunod lahat sa'yo. Binubuntutan ka ng tao, hindi ba yun? So, sobrang sometimes when you think about it, if you're not careful, the success will eat you.
Yun na nga, I was gonna ask you buti hindi pumasok, umakit ba sa ulo mo?
No, maybe there were times when, I was thinking, iba kami Pero it never really, I mean, I thank the Lord na hindi ako naapektuhan to the point
fame,
na naging mayabang ako talaga na, I never claimed that I was top dog or anything like that.
Even if you were at the time, I know.
Ano lang, talagang, well, sabi ko lang, mapalad kami siguro. We're lucky, and sometimes nagtatanong nga kami, because some people interview us na, what do you think is the secret of your success? What's the secret of the love team? And basically, sometimes we tell them, truth of the matter is we don't know. We don't know we don't know how we happened, or sabi nga namin, ang joke nga sa amin noon, we were an accident looking for a place to happen. Para kaming ganun, parang siguro we came into the picture at the right time, parang ganun. In the industry kasi sabi nga nila, it's like a cycle, people will fall in love with action. Puro action yan. Then after a while,
perfect
they get sick and tired.
Rom-com kayo.
Rom-com, or whatever. When we came around, I think that was one of the big chances and break of, what do you call, the breaks of life, that the industry was looking for a change. And I think they really couldn't care kung ano man yung change. They were just looking for a change, and Yung nga kanya ang tawag nga sa amin, may dumating na 2 uhugin and they were able to do it. They were the change. They started the
So kayo yung
the
nagsimula
growth.
ng love team.
Love team. Tsaka yung mga bata, the young bloods, biglang pumasak, puro mga bata kami, pati yung support namin, yung mga
So
dati
kayo,
namin
kayo ang
kasama.
unang That's Entertainment.
Yes, oo, kami. Kami ang unang Dutch Entertainment. Kami ang unang...
Regal Babies. Kayo
kami
yung mga...
Kami ang unang MTV nga,
Yeah,
sabi kasi. Linagyan lang ng konting kwento. Pero MTV lang kami, kantahan lang kami ng kantahan.
My God. Okay. So tapos nun, as this was happening, as this was growing, did you think it was gonna end?
No, during those times, parang feeling nga namin, wala, ano na to? Forever and ever na to. But and then it got to the point nga na, I think a lot of things that came into play was maturity and also the breaks. Parang the law of gravity. What goes up must come down.
Yes.
So, sunod. To make the long story short, as my wife would usually tell me, biglang the offers started waning. Mabagal na yung offers na ano. And parang the success rate was changing and it was becoming more prevalent for Nora. Si Nora was getting other partners and she was being given the ano. Parang ako ganun nag-ano.
How did it affect you?
Yun ang that's another thing that I believe I am blessed and I am thankful for the Lord that it did not really dampen my ang naging ko lang parang ang naging decision ko lang, conclusion ko noon was, well, most probably my movie career is just up to this point.
So you're more of like a realist kinda.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was a realist, fatalist guy.
Uh-huh.
And so, after that, I went back to a band, to singing. I went
Yes.
back to singing because, I mean, that's my bread and butter and that was something that I loved and it's the only thing that I knew. And so I had a couple of cousins who had a band. So sabi ko, tayo natin dumadaan, mag-banda muna tayo. So for a couple of years, nagbanda ko, ganun. Siguro mga 5 years, ganun. Wala, offers were as scarce as hen's teeth.
And you were fine with that?
I was fine with that. I mean, ano nga
Alam mo,
ako,
this is
accepted
nice.
ko
Yun nga eh.
Accepted ko yun eh.
And I think that's what allowed you to keep moving forward eh. Because
Maybe so.
Because
Yeah.
yung kung may hang up ka, you wouldn't see the opportunity in front of you anymore,
Yeah.
you know.
At saka, I most probably I would feel like I've been shortchanged. Di ba?
Oh,
Ibang parang,
bitter.
Na ang sama pala nitong ganito mga taong to ganun lang. But it never really dawned upon me. Basta ako nakabalik ako sa pagkanta. What was important to me then was, as long as I'm earning an honest living,
Yes.
okay na sa akin. Not as much. I mean, malayo ang difference from what I was earning before. But
Right.
it was an honest living.
But now the difference is now you are the Tirso Cruz III.
Yeah, that was then yung after 5 years, I mean, nawala na yun eh. Yung lab team nag-fizzle out na.
But it doesn't change your
ended.
brand. It's still your name.
Yeah, it's still my name, but then yun nga. And then after 5 years, biglang may phone call. I came home from a gig. I came home, my wife said, alam mo, may tumawag si Mother Lily daw. Sabi
Okay,
ganun.
before we go there, you mentioned your wife. So si Tita Lynn, kailan siya pumasok sa buhay mo?
When I was down and out, tsaka pumasok na sa buhay ko. Yeah, when I was, when the offers were scarce already and everything. I mean, like, I wasn't the Tirso Cruz who was up there. Let's say, okay, sabihin na natin.
Up there
the top
talaga,
dog, but
yeah.
I was up there, but wala na. I wasn't up there anymore. Parang that's why I said, di ba, decided ako, well, this is my life now. I mean, I was playing with the band nga, may gig kami na sa Lighthouse.
Lighthouse. Oh my God.
Yung friend niya, naghahanap sila ng pupuntahan, naghahanap lang sila ng joint where they can have fun. So, dumating siya ron, pumasok siya. Si Labamana, a friend of hers. Kunento niya to later on. Hindi niya inamin na in love talaga siya sa akin. Hindi. Nakita niya gano'n. Sabi niya rin sa friend niya, sabi niya, Lab, nakita ko na yung pakakasalan ko. Sabi niya, siya nagkikwento niya, ay nakita ko na yung pakakasalan ko.
Yes, Tita Lynn.
Tapos sabi niya yung kumakanta, yung kumakanta, sabi nila naman sa kanya, si Tirso Cruz yan, sabi gano'n. Hindi! Sabi niya, eto masakit. You explain to me, ano magiging pakiramdam mo kung mangyari sa'yo? Hindi si Tirso Cruz yan eh. Gwapo yan eh. Si Tirso Cruz pangit. Ano magiging pakiramdam mo na ano, hindi ba? Ano ba to? Insulto o pure? Hindi ba? Parang, asama ah. No, but then, yung friend nilang isang kasama nila, si Mar, who was a dancer sa... At saka yun, sabi niya, may nakita rin siya, may halo daw siya, may halo daw ako sa ulo. Ang bait ko talaga. Hindi. No, may halo raw ako sa ulo. Tapos yung si Mar nga, kasi, he's a dancer na ano. Sabi ni Mar, kilala ko yan. Sabi niya ganun. So after ng ano, si Mar, sabi ganun, on set, bumba ako. Lumapit sa akin siya, Soil ka. Sabi niya, may papakilala ako. So pinakilala sa akin si
Tita Lynn.
Tapos yung mga friends niya, hi, ayan, kwento. Sabi ko, pwede, maganda naman. Hindi. She was attractive. She was very attractive.
Very.
So, yeah.
And then, tapos?
Well, the man in me, parang, pwede kong makakilala to. Anyway, wala naman akong ano nun. Kalukuhan lang ako sa buhay. So, in short, kilala. Got her number, ganyan. Then started chatting. Tawag. We hit it off well right away. Na ano. I would say it was a whirlwind romance. Ano.
Galing.
Yeah, and then, kanya nga sabi ko, I think there's truth in the fact that sometimes tayo hindi natin alam na the Lord is there already in our lives. Ginaguide na tayo. Hindi pa natin alam.
At saka ang ganda ng timing.
Kasi may feeling ka ng I, me, and myself na success story ko because of me. I do this before, I got this because of me. Puro ganon, di ba? Hindi pa ako masyadong, well, of course, I had the fear of God in me, but alam mo yung expression na ano, when somebody would ask you, do you know God? Then sa atin, automatic, of course. Or, let's rephrase that, sabi niya. Do you know God or do you know of God?
Ooh, diba? Magkaiba yun.
Then you start thinking, nga naman. But then again, going back to her, whirlwind romance. And after that, fell in love. Yan. Finally, sabi ko, I think panahon na para mag-settle down.
How old were you?
I was 29.
Oh my God.
During that time, I was 29 already. So sabi ko.
So you guys are, mag-golden na pala kayo, no?
Ayan.
Okay, ilang taon? Tito Pip, ilang taon si Tita Lynn nung time na yon?
19.
10 years?
19 Kanya nga tawag sa akin mga kaibigan ko, cradle snatcher daw ako. 19. Yeah. But then again, sabi nga nila, when it's right and if it's blessed, in a very short time, we decided to get married. So we get married. Ano pa yun?
Sa Huwes?
No, sa church. Sa church, Christian church. Although it was parang hush-hush marriage because I was still trying to keep that image
the matinee idol.
Na so para sa career pa rin. You were still hoping na di ba? So yun, nagpakasal kami and then after a while, of course, we had kids already na after 5 years hindi, yung success story ko, yung nga pala, going back to that, yung tumawag si Mother
Mamaya na yung tumawag si Mother Lily, mamaya na yun.
Sabi ko, hindi, yun yung umpisa eh. Okay. Galing ako sa gig, tumawag. After 5 years na wala akong movies. Sabi ko sa kanya, linoloko ka lang yan, prank caller yan. Sabi ko, 5 taon nung walang kumukuha ako sa pelikula, tatawag si Mother Lily, kukunin ako. Sabi ko, nasisira na ba ulo niyo babaeng yan? Sabi ko pang gano'n. Hindi, sabi niya, hindi mag-return call ka, hindi naman masama. Wag na, mapipikon lang ako, sabi ko. Dahil alam ko yan, mga taong walang magawang matinuyang gusto kong asarin na wala na ako, di ba? Sabi niya, wala naman mawawala eh. Sabi ko, parang just to end the discussion. Sige na, tatawagan ko bukas. Tatawagan ko yan, sige na. So I went to sleep. But deep down,
hindi mo iniisip, you were thinking about?
I was not thinking about it. Sabi ko, ano ko talaga is, eto mapapahiya itong asawa ko sa akin dahil masusumbatan ko to. O ano, kita mo, nangaasar lang, sinabi niya siya. Tinawagan ko, true enough, pagtawag kong gano'n, kilala ko boses, siyempre, Mother Lily. Hello, pwede kayo, Mother Lily? Oh, Tirso, andiyan ka. Ano tayo? Gawa tayo movie, ha? May movie ko para sa'yo. Shooting na tayo bukas. Gano'n, parang, after 5 years, tumawag, ang unang salita sa akin, kuha kita pelikula, shooting tayo bukas. Ako naman, I was caught naman. Sige, Mother. Sige ha, paano na ako bukas si schedule?
May call slip na.
Magbaba ako ng telepono, sabi ko, wala pang script, wala pang kahit na magsushooting kami. Ano tong movie ito? Sabi ko, kalukuhan ito. Yung pala, alam mo si Mother, yung
Spontaneous.
When she thinks of something, she wants it done right away.
Yes.
Yung pala, the idea behind it was, gusto niya ma-drum beat kagad. So,
yes.
Gusto lang niya mag-shooting kami that day, kahit na anong eksena, kukunan.
Yeah.
Pero nag-imbita siyang maraming press.
Yes.
So that the people will write about it. But everyone was going against her. Sabi sa kanya, Guy and Pip remake. Lahat sinasabi sa kanya, Mother, tapos na yung panahon ng Guy and Pip. Wala na yun. Iba na ngayon. Ano ka dyan? Mali ka. She was the only one who stuck to her guns. I don't know. She had that sixth sense or something. Hindi. Gawa tayo pelikula. Lahat sa office niya. Actually, partly kahit kami. Parang tatanungan kami ni Guy. May manunod pa ba sa atin? Sabi ko. Hindi. Ang tandaan na natin. Hindi na tayo. But anyway, we did shoot the movie and wala. So everybody's surprised. It was a big, big hit. And, yun, nag-start na naman yung career ko na pagkatapos ng movie yun, sinundan ka agad ni Mother. Another movie was in the making. Gano'n na. So, nakabalik na naman ako in the fray. And then, a lot of people were telling mga na, you're a very, hindi pa nga blessed, the word was lucky. You're a very lucky person because sabi nila in this business, opportunity knocks once.
Yes,
Ikaw, it
twice.
knocked a second time at your door. Sabi nga. So, ayun. Went back to the movies. Gawa ulit kami ng ilang...
But now you're coming in as a married man. So ano yung dynamics pagdating sa bahay?
Wala naman. Nung una lang, naguguluhan siya sa schedule. Magulo yung schedule. Tsaka yung mga big deal, ginagawang big deal na mga chismis, ganon. Like
because it's you to Tita Lynn also di ba? Bago to. Because when you guys got together, you were not doing this.
I was not doing any of those things Kanyang biglang balik movies and so, yun. Tapos, yung...
Yan na.
May chinismis, yung scene namin kasi may kissing scene. So, hinamer sa write-up. Abangan ninyo, ang kissing scene Ito sabi, ba't kayo may kissing scene? Sabi niya, tataka siya. Tsaka yung kasi, the way it was written, kala mo napaka-passionate na talagang antinding kissing scene. Anyway, in short, natapos, may preview kami. So, sinama ko siya. Manood ka, sabi ko. Sige, sasama ko. Papanoorin ko yan. Kaganon siya, nanonood siya. Dumating yung kissing scene. Yun lang yun. Sabi niya gano'n. Yun lang yun. Yun lang yung kissing scene yun? Oo. Bakit? Di ba nag-kiss kami? Natawa lang siya. Tapos pag-uwi na, that started also the enlightenment sa kanya. Lang yan namang, kala ko naman kung gaano katindi yung kissing scene niya. Lahat naman pa na kwenta. parang halik ng bata. So, at least nakita niya. Tapos after that, na-realize na niya. Ay, nako. Lang talaga. Kailangan lang gawin yan. Para sa yes, kailangan lang talaga. This is show business.
Kayong dalawa as husband and wife, yung communication nyo, is it candid? Is it serious? Is it...
Well, like anybody else. May mga days kaming serious. Meron days nag-aaway kami. May pinagtatalunan kami. Kung minsan mga walang kakwenta-kwentang bagay, nagtatalo kami. Pero sa amin, the funny part sa relationship namin is, wala yung sa amin, yung sorry, wala.
Wala.
Mag-aaway kami. Ganyan. Walang usapan for a while. As ba, pakikuha nga yung... sige, ito na. So, nag-uusap na kami ulit. Parang wala nangyari until the next conflict. Until the next conflict comes around.
This episode is brought to you by Dr. Lourdes Capulong.
Meron niyang may comedy yan sa akin.
Sige,
Away kami. Away kami, galit na galit siya. Bisaya ang asawa ko from Bacolod. Galit na galit siya. Hindi na sa kotse kami, mama niya. Ang hirap siya, ang dami mong excuses. Magkatapos doon, excuses! Wala. Dead air, silence. Nagtingin ko, tumatawa siya. Tumatawa siya.
Lumabas.
Na-realize niya yung excuses niya. Excuses!
Lumabas ang pagkabisaya.
Yung pinag-aawayan namin, nabaliw lang. Kasi, most of the time, pinag-aawayan namin talaga pag inisip mo after the quarrel. Yung walang kakwenta-kwenta.
Yes.
Yung pinag-aawayan nyo, para kang batang maliit na inagawan ng candy. Parang ganun lang. Tapos sabi ko nga sa'yo, after a while, wala. Mamaya, pakikuha yung ganyan. Yung nga pala, may lakad ka rin sa ganito. Alin yun? Wala na. Yun na pag-uusapan namin. Parang it just, the quarrel dies down.
Ang family, Tito Pip, yung unit nyo as a family, how are you guys able to protect the sanctity of that?
Well, sa amin, wala namang pagdating sa bahay, hindi ako artista, tatay ako. Tatay ako, asawa niya ako. I do, especially nung bata pa yung mga anak ko, I do fatherly chores. Madami, may mga situation nga sa bahay dati noon when we were living. Si Janine, ito, siya yung youngest ko. There was one afternoon, may kaibigan siyang mananahi yun, di ba? A designer. A neighbor namin. So, she's used to going to the house na basta parang family niya, basta papasok sa bahay, gano'n. Nagpapaligo ako, pinapaliguan ko si Janine. I was giving my daughter bata ba. During those days, because siya yung third na, lumalabas na akong character actor noon. Na ako, bad boy na ako sa movie noon. Killer na ako, siga. Nambubugbog na ako, nare-rape na ako. Biglang pagpasok niya, nakita niya, papaligo ko. Ang pangit daw na image. Naka-shorts ako, basa ako dahil yung anak ko, pinapaligo ko, naglalaro ng tubig na gano'n. Ako, ganon-ganon lang na Tapos sabi niya kay Ellie, ang pangit pala tignan ng yung goons na nagpapaligo ng bata. Nasisira yung image yung pagkatao. Tawanan lang kaming tawanan. Sabi, huwag ka maingay. Masisira yung pagkasiga niya.
Ito, you brought that up. Is it your character na, yun nga, like what we talked about kanina, di ba? You're ready to move on and all that. Hindi ka, although you were a big matinee idol, you were ready to go to the next chapter of your life. Now, the shift from matinee idol to second opportunity, to second opportunity muna kasi nagkaroon ng di ba, ng revival of the Guy Pip tandem, tapos to character actor. What was going through your head? And the reason why I'm asking this is may mga tao talaga na nakikinig ngayon na hanggang ngayon nakakapit pa rin sila sa nakaraan at dumadaan ng opportunity sa buhay nila at hindi na nahuhuli yun because of that. What was the secret to your...
The secret, I believe, is still, sabi nga sa'yo, time and time again, I will go back to the fact that I believe I was being guided by the Lord.
Amen.
Yung kasi, ang manager ko during those days when that offer for the character role came in, ang manager ko si Bibsy Carvalho.
Oh, yung magaling si Tita Bibsy.
Yeah. So, may in-offer sa aking movie. Lead role ako dapat. It was right for me. But then again, they gave it to another actor na up and coming na needed also that break and he was also right. So, yung producer ng movie, was not the type of person na will talk to you and pag walang nangyari, kalimutan ka na. She was a very respectable person in the business. So, sabi niya, sorry that hindi nag-materialize yung movie na I was thinking for you. But, sabi niya, I have another upcoming movie pero I don't know if you're willing to do this. Very balanced yung role ng nung bida, pero you will have to be the kontrabida. You'll be the lead role ng
So nung first time mo naririnig yun,
kontrabida. Like all my life.
Yeah.
matinee idol,
Yeah.
love
Bida.
team, ganyan. Biglang magko-kontrabida ako. So I talked to Bibsy, sinabi ko kay Bibsy. Sabi ni Bibsy, this is a very dangerous move for your career, sabi niya. Because if people will not accept you, you might as well kiss your
Career goodbye.
Wala na
Yeah.
talaga. Yung second chance mo and everything, that's going to be all down the drain, and it will be a miracle for you to be able to survive and go up against, just to be able to keep your head above water. Sabi niya. Pero ako that time, sabi ko nga, what do I have to lose? I mean, like I've done so many things, and sabi ko, I'm willing to take the risk. Sabi ko, sabi ko, it's a challenge, and I'm willing to take the risk, sabi ko kay Bibsy. Sabi niya, sige, if you're willing to take the risk, okay. So, I did the movie. The movie was entitled Ganti ng Api, and the lead role was Ronnie Ricketts.
Oh,
Si Ronnie Ricketts ang and then ako yung character actor ngayon nga. And so, basically, I was of age already, and I basically had a smattering and understanding that what I was doing was a profession. It's a craft. It's not just a passing fancy or, you know. So, sabi ko, okay. So, I created a character for my role. I created a character. I dressed him up. Pati yung pagdadamit niya, paano, pati yung ayos ng buhok.
Galing.
Everything. And then I did the movie. And like
prior to this, ito Pip, pag sinabi mo kontrabida, Paquito Diaz ang nasa isip mo
ganon,
mga time na yun,
yung
di ba?
mga time na yun. So, ginawa ko yung movie ngayon.
Sophisticated kontrabida.
For the love of me, naging successful. Na kontrabida, tinanggap ako. So suddenly, there's a new bad boy in town who was me. Ang naman ito, ang spin-off naman ito, after that, for the next 5 years, hindi na ako nakakuha ng role na mabait ako. Lahat, puro kontrabida na ako. Lahat, kontrabida lahat. Talagang bandidong-bandido na ako. Ang bad ko na. Talagang... Tsaka putok na ang social media. Kaya makita mo, ang daming negative comments. Pakawalang niya niyang hayop na. Lahat. I was being cursed by people talaga. Alam mo, napanood mo ba yung pelikula? Alam mo, yung hayop na yan, pero magaling siya. Pero pakawalang niya. Yung nga sabi ko siya, yung when people appreciate you but they curse you, di ba? So hindi mo alam kung magpapasalamat ka or ano naman tingin ninyo sa akin, di ba? Of course, they never understood really na deep down inside, comedian lang ako sa buhay na I'm just another father na inuutusan ng mga anak niya sa bahay. At saka ako, the one thing that I was lucky enough is because most of my co-workers like Rudy Fernandez, Michael De Mesa, Christopher De Leon, and we became very close friends. Not only us, but even our wives and our children were very close. Kanya yung mga anak ko, never feared me. They were never afraid of me.
Yes.
Yung role ko na, wala.
They knew it was a role.
They knew it was a role. They knew, papa ko, kuminsan ko, ano pinagagawa. Kala mo kung sino siga, wala naman. Di ba yung gano'n? And then, sila Boyat, kasi sometimes, we'd have get-togethers. So, sanay silang makakita ng artista. There used to, Tito Boyat is there, Tito Edgar is there. So, lahat tito-tita. Then, sila, pag nakikita sila, sinasama sila kuminsan. Like si Boyat, kuminsan wala kami. Isasama nila yung mga anak ko, enjoy sila, they go out na So, basically, kahit yung mga anak ko, hindi sila naging starstruck.
Yeah.
Talagang family, ang tingin nila, lahat yung mga co-workers ko are family, and they know that because they've seen them in the real sense of, as a person, as a father. Alam nilang, kung ginagawa niyan, trabaho lang nila, mababait yan, di ba? They're kind-hearted people. And sabi ko nga, napakaswerte ko rin na ganun yung, kahit yung mga katrabaho ko, naging barkada ko, naging kaibigan ko. And yung mga anak namin, naging magkakabarkada rin.
So naging parang lumaki lang yung network nyo.
Lumaki lang talaga. Hanggang ngayon, pagka merong may birthday, mga anak ni Bobot na tatawagan na. Hindi kaya yan, ganyan, lalakad. Yung mga pinsan nila, pagka ganun, tatawagan sila. They enjoy their company, and pagka nagkita kahit saan, di ba? Makikita. Ay, Tito Boyet. Umisa, yung mga ibang kaibigan na ibang, kilala mo si Christopher Lino? Oo. Parang gano'n lang yung mga anak ko. Oo. Parang, nakakapagtakang kilala ko yan. Parang gano'n.
Ang galing, no? Now you mentioned yourself as a father, kayo ni Tita Lynn as
Family,
as a
parents.
family, as parents. when your major trial, one of your major trials of family came, the death of your son, how do you face something like that kayo as a family, you as the patriarch of your family? That's something hanggang ngayon hindi ko ma-fathom sa utak ko. When I found out about the news, I was crying in my heart. Wala naman ako magagawa kundi mapagdasal kayo, but kayo, you had front seat.
Yeah.
And-
We saw that yung 6.5 months. Lalo na si Lynn. Kasi ako, there were days when I had to go out and work. Di ba? May mga shoot ako, may mga guestings ako. Pero si Lynn siya yung for 6.5 solid months, she was in the hospital from morning to evening. And sometimes she'd sleep over dahil gusto ni TJ, andun siya.
Yes.
And so we went through that, the journey that my son took before he passed on. Nakita ko yun na yung the suffering, the pain, and realization, di ba, yung makikita mo yung anak mo na wala ka namang magawa.
Yun na nga ibig ko sabihin,
Wala.
yung
Yung prayers lang talaga, and because when things dawn upon you that you're just another human being and you don't have superpowers na you could just touch your son and bring him back to life and to health and everything, parang ganon. So for 6.5 months, yun yung pinagdaanan namin until that day nga, that fateful day came when he passed on. And ang hirap kasi parang it was surreal, but parang hindi mo matanggap. It's happening right before your eyes. It's happening, pero hindi mo ma-accept na nangyari, hindi ba? So, it was a day-to-day struggle for us, especially for Lynn. It was a day-to-day struggle for her. Na sabi nila, late as time went by, sabi ko nga you never really get over it. You just learn to live with it. You learn to live with the death of a loved one. And life goes on. Pero yung up to now, I mean, it's been 4 years.
Yeah.
Pero there are still days when I would find my wife crying. And there are days when she would find me crying. Kasi kuminsan may mga memories na, when memories come, so kuminsan parang sunod-sunod. Sunod-sunod yung memories.
No? Yeah.
Ganun, babalik ganun yung, like yung sinasabi nga nila, yung life flashing right before your eyes. Maaalala mo lahat yung buhay ng anak mo dumadaan before you. Yung the fun parts, the sad parts, the growth, yung growing up and everything yung makikita mo. Tapos biglang yung dulo, yung end nga, di ba? Parang so, everything happened so fast because he passed on. He was 37
grabe.
when we lost him. And talagang kanya hanggang ngayon nga talaga yung pain na yun na it's still in your heart. Talagang totoo yung sinasabi nila, there suddenly is a hole in your heart that cannot be filled with anything except for the love of God. But even if the love of God is there, yung memory ng anak mo, andun yun, yung stigma nun, andun, that will be there forever. And it's something that you wouldn't wish anyone. When you think about it, you even wouldn't wish it to an enemy.
Oh,
Yung pain kasi, alam mo yung, sabi ko nga ako, nag-aartista ako before all those things happened. Yung nag-aartista ako, I deal with pain, I act out pain and everything. Until, well, basically, not only the death of my son, ang first death talagang pinagdaanan ko, brother
Si
ko.
Tito Woody, di ba? Yeah.
Nung namatay si Woody, doon ko na-realize, doon ko na-intindihan ng pain talaga. That was when I really...
And he was your only brother, right?
Yeah. So this is... No, I have a half-brother,
Right.
si Nes, but kaming dalawa yung sa family, immediate
Yes.
family. And sabi ko nga, yung pain na ina-act out ko, ngayon ko lang na-realize, ganito pala talaga kasakit yun. Ito pala yung pain na sinasabi. And which is, well, words cannot explain it. And even yung emotions mo, even as... I would say even as good as an actor anyone can become, yung when the truth hits you, yung ganon, hindi mo madidepict yung pain sa loob ng puso mo. I mean, like, 1,000, 100,000 words to explain it. Wala, there's no way to explain it. You just feel it and yun nga, yung prayer mo talaga wag nang mangyari ulit. Never again. Ayaw mo na ng ganun, if ever. Kanya, well, in a way, it also helps you become closer to your family. It also helps you look back and, marirealize mo yun, ay, kailangan pala alagaan ko yung anak ko. Kailangan pala maging more careful ako and more caring ako. Kasi kung minsan, time and work eats you up eh.
Yeah.
You should be careful pala about that. I mean, time, work will always be there, but yung quality moments and quality time in life should not be lost, especially with your family.
Yung mga important matters at saka yung mga trivial matters,
Yes.
no? Dapat hindi namin mix up yung mga ganon. May ano ba dyan? May issue ba dyan?
Unavoidably, it happens to everyone. I mean, like, sabi ko nga, after a while, when you face reality, we'll all come to that. Diba? Time will come when we will all be called by the Lord. Pero, like, it's easy to talk about it, but when it's right before you, in front of you, iba na eh. Diba? Kami ni Lynn ibang, pinakamahirap sa kanya dahil nung kinausap na kami ng doctors na, we've done everything that is possible. So, they couldn't tell us directly na it's just a matter of time. Pero, nung kinakausap ko siya, nung una ko siyang kinausap na we have to be ready, sumagot kagad siya sa akin, no! Wala na, hindi na ako nagsalita. I mean, I knew I was going to be facing more than the Great Wall of China do sa denial niya na hindi, we will fight for it. And of course, truth of the matter, no, kinausap namin kahit yung mga kapatid niya, lahat, ang decision ng lahat was, no, we will fight to the end. We were not going to give up. Fight tayo para kay Kuya. Whatever needs to be done, we will do. Regardless of anything, sabi nila. Basta what has to be done or what they think should be done, we will do, sabi niya. So, sige, like, wherever it takes us, we just have to rely on the Lord and whatever the plans of the Lord is para sa atin. Basta as far as we're concerned, yung whatever is humanly possible.
Yes, let's exhaust all options.
Yun lang. Yeah.
Wow. It's never easy talaga to lose a loved one.
No, never really.
Nakaka.
Ako lahat nangyari na, di ba? Namatay kapatid ko, namatay ang father ko, namatay ang nanay ko. Pero nung namatay yung anak ko, iba yung pain, di ba? Sabi nga nila, di ba, it's an old saying, sabi nga nila, a parent is not supposed to bury his son or daughter. That's the job of your son and daughter.
Yes.
Bury you. Hindi ikaw maglilibing sa kanila. But then, things happen, Kanya nga sabi ko, sana kahit doon sa mga nakikinig ngayon, huwag mangyari sa inyo to.
Moving on from that is never possible. Ito hindi possible no? You bring that with you di ba?
Oh yes, you can.
Kasi yung matinee
forever.
idol, you can leave that alone. Pero ito hindi mo how did it build you as a person?
Well, yung nga, sabi ko siya, like, deep down inside, although I'm not a very showy person talaga but, deep down inside, nasa ko yun, yung bang, to care more, to understand more. But of course, sometimes you say it and sometimes you do something else, di ba? When your emotions toy around with you, di ba? Alam mo yung dapat mong gawin, pero kung minsan nakakalimutan mo. And then, pagka nag-iisa ka na, then you face reality. Oh, mali ako ron. But then again, your pride gets in the way. Hindi.
Pero do you have pride?
A bit, of course. Meron akong pride, but not enough to destroy my family or or destroy my career or destroy friendship or anything. When it comes to that, pride takes a second chair, just stays behind me.
Tito Pip,
pride na.
One thing that I shared this with you kanina, I'll share it again para malaman ng mga tao. You always leave you always leave significance in people. I remember as a child meeting you. And then nung naging asawa ko nga si Geneva, meeting you again. Tapos you've always made people around you feel special. Meron kang ganun eh. Si Nino na nandito ngayon, ang kwento niya palagi is, isa sa pinakamabait na tao yan. And I was observing you kanina, like you're very good with names also.
This episode is brought to you by Leo Bato and Associates, ang realtor na patok.
You value people. Itong character trait na to, how did it develop?
I don't know. I mean, like, most probably, siguro, I picked it up from my parents or I picked it up from friends. May mga, as I was growing up and I was getting into the business, I learned to respect a lot of people that I get to meet also. I mean, like, I pick up, I may be wrong at times, pero sometimes I feel I pick up good traits and I put that in my memory bank na maybe the time will come I'll be able to use this line or maybe I can give this advice to someone because it was given to me once upon a time when I really needed it most. And then yung sabi ko parang it's easier to be friendly than to let your, like you said, than to let your pride take over na
Yes.
you have to toe the line. I mean, like, you have to follow me. I have to be right. Diba? I always have to be right. Ako hindi. I feel I'm right, but sometimes if people can prove me wrong, I accept that I'm wrong. Diba? Oo nga, mali ako ron. Diba? And of course, when I try as much as possible. I'm not perfect. I mean, there are times when I forget names. Kung minsan pinagtatawanan ako ng asawa ko. Na maraming times yan nangyayari. May makakasalubong kami, alam mo, sa mall or anything, diba? Hindi ko maalala ang pangalan, di ba? Kasama ko siya. Ang hirap ng sitwasyon ko yung gusto ko siyang ipakilala. Hindi ko maalala nung pagpapakilalahan. So, hindi ko paano kung uumpisan. Kung minsan mag-uumpisa ako. This is my wife nga pala, si Lynn. Love si...
Cue na niya dapat yun. Please mention na rin. Please, wag mo kong
iwan ng hanging dito. Mukha akong tanga. Di ba? Talagang it happens maraming beses na nangyari na.
Tita Lynn, wala kayong tandem kung anong gagawin niyo to get the name out of the person?
Wala, pinagtatawanan lang niya ako.
Kami ni Jaja meron. Kami, so halimbawa, kausap ko na yung nakita ko sa mall. Pag hindi ko pinapakilala si Jaja,
Alam na niya
na nakalimutan ko yung pangalan. So si Jaja na magsasabi, "Hay nako, ako nga pala asawa niya. What's your name?"
Una na.
Tapos sabihin, "Raquel." Si Raquel. Hindi ko napakilala si Raquel. Si Raquel.
Sorry. Siya hindi. Most of the time naman, sinasalo naman ako ng mga kakilala ko. Na pag Lynn nga pala may wife, si sasabihin niya, Dante, alam mo, gano'n. Tapos pag alis, titignan ako. Gaganunin ako niya. Di mo maalala pangalan. Meron niya ganyan, kumisan yung nanonood kaming TV. Nanonood akong TV. Ang galing na artista talaga ni si, ano nga pangalan nito? Tapos imbis na tulungan, ay, di niya maalala pangalan. Ay, ako, alam ko pangalan yan. Hindi niya alam. Imbis na sabihin na, di ba yung express? Nasa dulo ng dila ko. Tagal. Finally, kukunin ko yung phone. Puntang Google. Ito yung movie. Sino yung lead dito? Ganon. But sometimes I get even with her also. Minsan magtatanong din siya sa akin.
So it happens.
Ay, siya, no? Ay, ginaganon ko rin siya. Diba?
So after all these years, kayong dalawa, yung chemistry nyo, has it changed? Or?
No, I believe in a marriage. Ang isang malaking factor sa marriage talaga is patience and sacrifice. I mean, people out there, if you're married, I will tell you the truth that being married it's not a fairy tale that you live happily ever after. It entails a lot of sacrifice and it entails a lot of patience. We were talking about this.
Yes.
Sabi ko siya, every individual is different talaga. Every individual is put together by a different set of nuts and bolts by the Lord.
Amen.
And sometimes, there are things in your partner in life that you'd like to change, but that's her. That's her distinct trait na wag mo nang pilitin because hindi mo mapapalitan because she was born that way. She has left her life that way. And I mean, it's close to a miracle for you to change her, but it will always revert to that. In the same token that you feel like, there are things that you have to, sabi nga, sometimes you should look at yourself also because for all you know, there are certain traits of yours that she'd like to change, but ina-accept na lang niyang, hindi ko pwedeng palitan. Ito, wala na itong pag-asa. Di ba? Ganito na to. Ito na yung ugali niya. So, you just learn to accept, you learn to love the wrongs or the things that you don't like in her. But because your love for her is stronger than the little quirks that she has, so isinasama mo lang sa pagmamahal mo yun na, ay nako, eto talaga, asawa ko ganito na lang talaga to. Wala, kakatanggapin ko na to. Lord, ito yung binigay mo sa akin. Wala, okay na, sige na. Ganon. So, kanya nga sabi ko, ha? Kanya nga sabi ko, nagsasalita ako, pero alam ko, meron din siyang ganong feeling, alam ko, di ba, na may mga gusto kang palitan. Even sa mga anak, alam mo, sa anak mo, mahalata mo yan. Yung may mga pagkakaiba sila.
Tama kayo, Tito Pip.
Yeah, talagang, for some reason or another, that's what makes them unique naman. Di ba? Yung the overall picture, the overall make of your loved one. What makes her unique? There's only one her like that. Sabi nila, binibiro nga na, di ba? Alam mo, siguro nung ginawa ka ng Diyos, binasak yung molde. Para wag nang gumawa ulit ng katulad. Yung joke. Well, it's a joke na.
Para unique ka na lang. Ikaw na lang mag-isa.
Ikaw na lang, wag na.
So now, you're still active sa TV and you're doing...
Yes, I am very thankful that somehow people still accept my performances and they still look for me. And that's one thing also that I'm very, very thankful na up to now, the industry has been very kind to me.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe because I've never been a headache sa work. I mean, sometimes I am. I must admit, like I said, I mean, nobody's perfect. Sometimes, minsan magulo kasi yung schedule ko na sometimes I bite off more than I can chew. So, nagiging magulo yung schedule ko. Nahihirapan din yung mga katrabaho ko. Pero, they sort of understand also siguro. And naintindihan din nila na it happens to everyone. Sometimes it's something that you don't like to do, but because of situations and everything, nangyayari, ganon. But aside from that, I believe maybe it's because of my love for the craft. I've learned to love the craft and I've grown in it. Sabi ko nga, expression ng father ko, yung you learn from the school of hard knocks.
Ooh, yes.
Diba? It's not you learn things in life not theoretically but the real thing. It happens right before your eyes. Or you get to feel that pain before you remember and try to recall and you tell yourself never again. Yung mga lessons na ganun, I think that's why like I said, I'm not perfect. I still commit boo-boos. Every now I pull out boners, but as much as possible, I try to follow the golden rule.
Do not do
unto others. Or do it to them before they do it to you. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. I'm joking. Biro lang yun. I mean, that's a negative thing. That's the kind of character I play. I mean, like, when I'm bad. No, it's always, I mean, the golden rule talaga. Do unto others as you would want others to do unto you, di ba? Ang hirap kasi, di ba? Ba't mo gagawin yung masama sa ibang tao?
Yeah.
Pero siyempre, yung mga role ko kasi ngayon, yun ang ginagawa ko.
In character lang po.
In character lang po kuminsan, nakakalimot lang.
Gratitude, Tito Pip, how important is being grateful? Because that's something I see in you also.
Alam mo, trait yan ng Pilipino. Yung gratitude, yung utang na loob. I don't know why
pero
it's
ikaw,
so hard to pay.
No, but ikaw, I mean, like what you said, your love for your craft, di ba? Na-appreciate mo kasi. You have that appreciation. Yung ibang tao, pinapabayaan nila. Ikaw,
No, natutunan ko rin eh. Natutunan ko. Kasi naramdaman ko yung yung up and downs ng career ko eh. Nag-dip ako, binigyan ako ng chance ulit na gano'n, mga ganun.
But when you were given a chance, that's when you talagang naging grateful.
Yes, because talagang sabi ko nga, I wouldn't want to go back to where I've been na di ba? Kanya nga sabi nga nila, you're so lucky that opportunity pick you up.
Yes.
Again, di ba?
Yes.
Binigyan ka ng second chance. So, sabi ko, this is a lesson learned. Kanya nga even nung etong mga lately pagka nagtatrabaho ko, even before that, years before, pagka may mga nakakatrabaho kong seniors, I ask them for advice. I talk to them directly at saka I give them due respect talaga yung mga seniors. Pagka may may question ako or what, I come to them. Like a good example si Eddie Garcia. When I'm working with Eddie Garcia, I talk to him. I ask him tapos yung mga ibang director, I work with directors. When I work with the director, I mean like I'm given a role. I put up the character the way I see it. Pero on the first shooting day, I go to my director first. I ask him, Direct, this is how I picture the character that you want. Now tell me, am I building this character right, or you want it to come on stronger, or you want me to lessen the intensity? Do you want me to be stronger in this situation or anything? Then he tells me, usually the director, no, your general concept and idea of your character is good, but sabi niya, as we go along, I can guide you. Sabi ko, yes, you have to guide me because I don't see myself when I'm working. Di ba, when I'm doing a character,
because you're in character.
Sometimes I may think that I'm right pero ang projection ko pala is wrong. So I still I'm old school. I still trust the director.
Now, which is better to play? Bida o kontrabida?
Kontrabida.
Talaga?
Yes. Yes, mas masarap ang kontrabida. Kontrabida has a bigger playing field. A kontrabida has a bigger playing field. Kasi pag bida ka, doon ka lang sa good side. Di ba? Mabait ka eh. Kailangan lagi kang true to form. Mabait ka. Defend the offended, the weak. Ang kontrabida, pwedeng mang-fake na mabait siya. And then, walang niya pa rin siya. So, mas malaki yung playing field ko. Pwede akong magbait-baitan. Pero hindi pwedeng maging salbayo yung bida ko. You're coming into my territory. Doon ka. So, bida ka lang. Di ba?
Pero looking back in hindsight, it was one of the best decisions you actually made, no?
It was one. It was one of the best decisions. Although for a while talaga, I lost the chance to do roles na mabait. Di ba? Kanya nga every now and then, once in a while, baga binigyan ako ng role na mabait, nag-iisip ako. Paano ko to? Paano ko gagawin to? Tsaka actually, mahirap din yung kontrabida, mahirap din. Kasi hindi naman pwedeng pare-pareho yung attack mo sa character mo eh. So, kailangan iisip ka rin ng iisip ng bagong technique, bagong gimmick, bagong yung hindi pa nagawa. Ang hirap eh.
Sino mga gusto mong kontrabida, Tito Pip?
Ako? Eddie Garcia. One of the top talaga. Because he always creates a different... I mean, like when you think about it, yung itsura niya is Eddie Garcia na siya. Pero when he attacks a role, he gives you a different look at the person. Ma-realize mo yung...
He's a tall guy, no?
Not really that tall. He's about 5'10" siguro. Okay. 5'11" si Tito Ed. Pero he's
makisig.
Well-built. Stocky. He's a funny guy. Ano yan, in life, sabi ko siya, karamihan ng mga kontrabida, comedian sa totoong buhay. Like sila Paquito, puro comedian yung mga yan in real life. Nakakatawa silang kasama talaga. Pero of course, pag lumabas sa pelikula, di ba? Takot ka na di ba?
You worked so now currently while we're taping this, you're on the set of Maria Clara and Ibarra. Yeah. And you were part of the cast of Ang Probinsyano. Mm-hmm. From going from Ang Probinsyano, which is a remake of the FPJ. Pero hindi na no? Lumayo na kayo talaga
nag-evolve na yung character ni Cardo Dalisay. Nag-evolve na. Yeah.
7 years, ha?
7 years.
Out of the 7 years, how many years were you there?
I was there for about 3.5.
Whoa, half of it?
Half of it. I was blessed na kinuha ako nag-guess ako sa kanya. Tapos, kinuha pa nila ako ulit.
Tapos ito naman, Maria Clara and Ibarra, you guys were picked up by Netflix.
Yeah, I only heard about that lately kasi we were being shown sa YouTube for a while nung nag-start kami, and then suddenly there were people nga on social media that were asking about what happened. We don't see it on YouTube anywhere. Because some of them kasi, hindi ba, yung nasa trabaho or traffic, hindi nakakapanood. So, hinahabol sa YouTube or what, biglang wala na. Then, so I asked, because I really didn't know. I asked the production side. Because, hindi na raw tayo napapanood sa YouTube. Ay, sir, kasi pinikap na po tayo ng Netflix. Which was a very, very inspiring thing for us. Because sabi ko, halfway pa lang tayo, pinikap na tayo. So, we must be doing something good. I mean, like, well, yung mga katrabaho ko naman, especially si Dennis Trillo, is one of the better actors that we have now. Ang galing niyang artista. He's a very respectable guy. Tsaka multi-awarded na yan. He has proven himself time and again. So, unquestionable yung when he builds a character, he can really change. Nagmo-morph siya into the character.
To the character
itself.
talaga.
Yeah.
So, are you thinking of, when you're doing a project, do you think of the next project or do you focus all your energy on the current project?
I focus on the current project. I mean, kung meron mang dadating, that's in the future. I mean, like, I should not let it bother me. I should focus on what I'm doing now because the time of that project will come when I start.
Sarap
Then
naman.
I go into it. I mean, like, tsaka kasi that's why I think that's why we have story conferences and script reading and character building kasi yung at least before you start sinasabihan ka na ikaw si ganito, role mo rito mayaman or mahirap or middle class, walang yaka rito, 'di ba? Bad boy ka ganon pero may pamilya ka na ganon.
So yun yung subtext, yeah.
Minsan ganon mayroon kasi 'di ba sabi nga nila, which is true, kahit naman yung mga salbahing tao, pag humingi ng pagkain yung anak, hindi naman bibigyan ng lason.
Yes.
So kahit na yung masama ka, there's still a certain tinge of goodness in the heart of evil men.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, okay, ilanding natin, Tito Pip, ha? 50 years in the business. How are you able to still look at the newcomers with yun nga, like what I said a while ago, you're a veteran actor. You're one of the best in what you do. And yet you're not imposing when it comes to new people. People gravitate toward you because hindi sila natatakot sa'yo. They know that you have that warmth. How are you able to maintain that na hindi ka jaded after 5 decades of being here na parang, bago ka lang ha? Wala kang ganun eh.
Wala. But first of all, I don't think I have that right. I mean, like, I do not claim to be a perfect actor or I do not claim to be the best. Because for all you know, itong bagong dumadating, gifted pala to, meron pala talaga to, hindi ba?
Galing.
Because acting, sabi nga you cannot teach people, you cannot teach someone to act. You cannot teach them. You can give them the weaponry, but you cannot teach them to act. Because like, let's say for example, a good example would be, ikaw, halimbawa, magkasama tayo sa work, ganyan. I can give you advice on how to do your character, but I cannot teach you because if I teach you how to act, you're gonna come out as me. Di ba? Paglabas ng pelikula natin, lahat tayo pare-pareho acting. Di ba? Magkakabuka. So parang it's like sending a soldier into battle.
Yes.
You arm your soldier, may granada ka rito, meron kang rifle, meron kang 45, may bayonet ka, meron kang whatever. Now, when are you going to use your weapons? There will be certain situations. Diskarte mo na yun. Itong situation na to, ganito. Tsaka yung sabi nga, these are things that I've learned. I mean, this is not something that I concocted myself. These are things that I've picked up from the many years I have been working with other people. Most of the seniors have given me that advice na acting is reacting. Acting is reacting because when somebody gives you the stimulus, then you return it. You don't anticipate something until it comes to you.
Correct.
Diba? So for you to act well and for you to act naturally, you wait for that that sign
Yung bibigay
bibigay
stimulus,
sa'yo, yung stimulus.
In this case, yung dialogue or yung action. Or
Yeah.
yung,
So sabi nga nila, acting is reacting. So don't anticipate. just play for truth, di ba? Yung situation ninyo, ganun, yung how would you react to that, ganun. Now, these are things. Pagka may bata, may mga, of course, the newcomers, di ba? They're excited and everything. I see part of myself when I was starting. Di ba? Parang, ganito rin ako nung araw eh. Di ba? So, yeah, and they will learn. I mean, as they go along down the line. And then, of course, I've seen a lot. I have had the opportunity to work with younger people than I am who I have appreciated and I have respected and admired because nakikita ko talaga yung gift sa kanila eh. Magagaling talaga silang artista, as in magaling.
This episode is brought to you by Dr. Lourdes Capulong.
Nakakagana, no?
At saka nakakatakot. Oh, because if you're not careful, mawawala ka rin sa scene. Magka-eksena kayo. Pagkatapos ng scene, siya lang maalala. Ikaw mawawala ka talaga. And they don't do it to try to impress or overpower you.
Yeah.
They're just doing their jobs. Kanya, believe ka rin. Alam mo kaagad eh. Ay, ang galing nito. Pag hindi ako nag-ingat, mawawala ako rito sa pelikula ito. Hindi ako matatandaan ng tao. But of course, yung nga, sabi ko, it's something that I respect. It's something that I can't hate or say some inggit or what.
I guess because you acknowledge it eh, di ba? Pag in-acknowledge mo kasi, that's when you know you're respectful eh. Because you're acknowledging the talent that's in front of you.
Magaling yung tao eh. Nung gagawin mo, pwede mo aawayin mo kasi magaling. Ang hirap naman nun.
If there's one thing that you will change in your life or can change in your life, what would it be?
Something that I can change in my life. Ang dami. Ang dami kong maling ginawa sa buhay ko eh. Kung maibabalik ko lang. But of course, it's next to impossible.
Yeah.
No? Maybe even if I'm given a second chance to try to rectify everything, somewhere along the line, I'll still foul it up. Di ba? Imposible yung hinihingi ko. Sa akin talagang lang for the Lord to continue to bless me and always set my foot on the ground. Huwag akong pabayang maligaw. Even, sabi kasi nila, even at an old age, there's still the chance that you may pull out boners nga, magkakamali ka. Yeah. And I'd hate to do that. Of course, may mga taong maninira sa'yo, may mga magsasalita dahil unfortunately, may mga may inggit eh. Diba? Sabi ko, wala namang alam yan eh, wala naman yung taong yan. But of course, ako, I wouldn't be affected by that. Ako, ang iniisip ko lang is, I will just try to put my best foot forward.
Yes.
And pag hindi ko kaya, di hihingi ako ng tulong. Di ba? There's nothing wrong na humingi ng tulong. Di ba? Kung hindi mo kaya. But, hanggang pag humingi ka ng tulong, at least additional knowledge ay yun. Pagka yung hininga mo ng tulong, magaling talaga or marunong, may natutunan ako. Sabi nga nila, di ba? If there's one thing a person will never run out of, it's room for improvement.
Yes.
You can always improve. That's as long as you live until the day comes that the Lord calls for you, you will always have room for improvement. Ganun lang.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tirso Cruz III.
Thank you! Thank you! Uy! Thank you.
Thank you.